Good morning. I'm back. I've been away. I went to Quincy, California, to the International Norton Owners Association, INOA, also started out as the US NOA, National Rally, the 2025 National Rally. The bike, the club, the association, I started it back in 1975 as the US NOA, United States Norton Owners Association. And within a few years, we got so many people from out of the country that we've renamed it to the International Norton Owners Association. I originally requested that the NOC in England grant me a charter or something in the Washington, D.C. area for a D.C. area chapter of the NOC, but that didn't work out. So I just started the USNOA, which became the INOA. Anyway, they had the 2025 National Rally up in Quincy, California, which is a beautiful area, just gorgeous. And I drove the RV up. I did not take a bike. I wish I had. I mean, the Norton's sitting right there, but I just didn't want to drag a trailer with the bike in it, so I didn't. Because I knew I'd take a few side trips on the way and maybe on the way back. So anyway, I went there and had a ball, had a lot of fun, met a lot of people that I've known over the years, ever since the start of the club. And the amount of knowledge, the depth of knowledge at that rally, just what you pick up by osmosis is incredible. Anyway, I drove my little RV up. Kevin went up to the rally too. He rode his Beamer, his BMW, up. So he rode up, and I went up in four-wheel comfort. So I made it there a lot faster than I thought, because I guess the little one is just easier to drive. I've put in longer days than I normally would. 200 miles in the big RV, the big Class A, was a comfortable day. 300 miles in the little one was just as comfortable. I got there 2 days early. And at the end of the rally, I went from Quincy, California, which is on the right-hand side of California, all the way across Nevada, straight across Route 50, the world's loneliest road, straight across to the far right-hand side of Nevada to Ely, Nevada, just to see the big train museum they have there. It's a train museum restoration facility. I mean, it's the old maintenance complex where they used to maintain the steam trains, and it's massive. And then from there, let's see. First of all, I have a bunch of video from the rally that I'm going to put together, and I'll post that. And I have a bunch of video from the Ely Train Museum, and I will post that. I'll cut them down so that they're a lot less. I mean, I've got huge amounts of video, and I'll try to cut them down and get some highlights. Leaving Ely, I made it down to a little town called Lund, which I think is like 35 or 40 miles south of Ely, and hit a deer. Little sucker just bounded right out in front of me. Boop, boop, bam. So I hit a deer doing about 55 miles an hour. And that wiped out the front of the RV. I got on the horn, and I have collision recovery roadside service with my insurance company, State Farm, who I've been with since I was 15, which is like 66 years or so. And they said, this is on a Saturday in Ely and Lund, two really small towns. There was no one available to just come get me. They finally had to bring a truck down from way up north in Nevada, Hawthorne, maybe? I think it started with an H. It was 120 miles away before he even got to me. But he came and got me, took me back to Ely, and took me to a tire shop that also works on RVs, and left me there. This is Saturday. By that time, I was just It took 6 hours. By the time when I hit the deer to when I was parked in that facility's parking lot was 6 hours, which frankly isn't that bad for a Saturday in the most rural part of Nevada. I mean, I can't complain about that. And besides, I was in the RV. I had the generator, I had the air conditioning, I had food. The only thing that was a bother was I was on the side of a very narrow 2-lane road, and there was probably a 1 foot to 18-inch gap between me and the edge of the traffic. And when those big trucks would go by, the whole rig would rock. And I was parked at an angle, slightly to the right, and I was scared silly it was just going to blow me over. But it didn't, and I got rescued and taken up to Wheelie. The plan was to just stay in there a lot Saturday and Sunday. See, I think I hit the deer on Friday. Saturday morning, just didn't know what to do. By the end of the day, I decided maybe I can get this thing running. Sunday morning, I got up and did a video and saw that the damage to the front end, the reason there was oil all over the front of the rig, it was that the transmission oil cooler was leaking. So I decided if I either bypass that or replace it, this thing is runnable. I called Napa downtown on a Sunday morning. They were open. They had a universal. One size fits nothing, universal. Transmission oil cooler in stock. All I had to do was get there to get it, and they're about 3 or 4 miles away. I went outside, did a 360, looked around. There was a guy working in his front yard across the way. So I walked over to him and I said, I'll give you $50 to drive me downtown to Napa and back. And he said, my car's right over there. So he took me down there. I bought the cooler. He brought me back. I had plenty of tools with me. I carry a nice big toolbox. And I removed the old, I didn't remove it. I disconnected the leaking transmission cooler, and I spliced in the new one with hoses that came with the kit. And then nylon tie strapped it to the front of the broken grill, fired the rig up, and there was no leak, other than a couple of drips here and there. It was drivable. So I left, and Sunday I made it to, I think it was Apache down there, or else a little town below Apache, and stayed over in a cute little RV park. And then the next day I made it all the way back to Phoenix. The rig is now here in Arizona, way over in Litchfield Park. There's a monster, huge RV repair shop over there, rehabilitation. They work on everything, monster Class A's down to pup tents. And I drove it over there and left it with them. And they are now talking to State Farm to see if it's repairable. I hope it is. I mean, there's nothing damaged. The damage goes approximately 2 feet into the front end of the truck part of the RV. Now, if it damaged the frame or something like that, that's scary. I don't know about that. I'm hoping to goodness that it's all tin, fenders, hood, grill, new radiator for sure, because that's concave now. And ancillary repairs to those items. I won't know for a couple of days. Anyway, they are working with State Farm, and I'm hoping that it'll be repairable, because I like that little rig, and I'd hate to see it totaled out. Besides, they wouldn't give me anything worth, I don't think. They wouldn't give me anything as a payout if they total it. That's that I'd be able to buy a comparable unit, because I put a lot of time and money into that RV. I got a good deal when I bought it, and I put about between $5,000 and $10,000 into it, just making it perfect for me. RVs are very much like boats. The putting money into them never ends. You know, a boat is a hole in the water lined with money. You could say something similar about RV if you can come up with something clever. But anyway, so that's where it is. I'm back in Phoenix. I'm in the shop. The shop's completely empty. I got rid of I released every single bike that I was working on prior to the rally, so I have an empty shop. empty shop. So anyway, Kevin and I had a really good time at the rally. I'm sure Kevin will have words to say when he comes down the first time. Right now, I'll show you my empty shop and what I'm going to do today a little bit. So, picking up the camera and doing this, I have an empty lift. I always leave the lift in the up position so that people walking through the garage won't trip on it. And there sits Fred and my two bikes. And I'm going to put Fred up on the lift and then go over there to the Fred shelf. All this stuff is Fred's. And I'm going to do stuff this morning. I'll load up the head and get things ready. And maybe we'll put the top end of Fred together. Kevin's working today. He is teaching Tai Chi because the Tai Chi master who teaches that class is physically unable to teach, so Kevin's teaching the class. And he'll probably be down there after a little while. So anyway, that's the plan. I'm going to work on Fred today a little bit. Sooner or later, Kevin will be down here to help me put it together. And basically, that's a wrap. I'll see you again when I make some progress on Fred. I'll see you again when I publish the videos of the rally and the train repair shop. And that is all. Addendum. Check out my rally shirt. Isn't that a nice shirt? Okay, that's it.